We're all well aware of the risks in handing our data to companies like Optus and Medibank, but what if you never had to reveal your address ever again? New South Wales is leading the way with a one-stop shop, allowing us to prove and protect our identity once and for all.
It's personal, private, privileged and prized by hackers.
We've seen what happens in relation to Optus and Medibank.
Now, new ways for a new world to give the power back to the people.
What we're rolling out in New South Wales is world-leading technology.
A digital identity that means you'll never have to hand over your data again. It works like this. You'll use an app to scan your passport, licence, Medicare card. They're cross-checked with databases to ensure they're yours and then appear on your phone as verified ID. You then have control over what you share and with whom, revealing only part or all of a document when required, meaning you'll be able to prove a valid licence without showing your address.
All they need to know is that you are real and that you're authorised to drive.
Or confirm you have Medicare while keeping your number unknown.
Those numbers, as we've seen in the recent spate of attacks, will not be shared.
The personal data is kept only on the personal device, never held by the government or a private company.
When you decentralise and you put the information in the power of the individual, it's far safer.
The technology will be optional for users, but not for companies and businesses, with the government set to make it illegal not to recognise the ID.
Ultimately, we will need legislation to make sure that the companies play ball and that they accept this.
Amelia Brace, 7 News.
China's new COVID health code has been accused of being a new tool for monitoring Chinese people. On Thursday, November 10th, China released the 14th five-year plan for national health informatization to speed up the national health informatization construction. According to that plan, by 2025, China will have in place a National Health Information Platform Support and Guarantee System with unified authority and interconnection. According to the plan, the authorities would have full monitoring of every resident's health information, and each person would have an electronic health code for himself or herself. Since the pandemic began, China has strictly imposed and maintained a zero-COVID policy. It is a measurement accused of limiting the movement and freedom of Chinese people, using the electronic health code. Electronic health is often compared to an electronic shackle. With the latest announcement, Chinese netizens are worried they would have to wear such a shackle for another 3 years. There are 3 types of health codes: red, yellow, and green. Rules for health codes are different in each province or city. But Hangzhou City in Zhejiang Province stated that red codes mean quarantine for 14 days, yellow codes mean quarantine for 7 days, and green codes mean no restriction. Some Chinese local governments use yellow or red codes to restrict people from traveling, or force them into quarantine. Some places use yellow codes on a large scale to force people to take nucleic acid tests. Some places use red codes to control dissidents or rights activists. According to some analysts, China's zero-COVID policy is not to curb the pandemic, but to tighten social control. This is one of the negative sides of the health code. One video shows a scene on the street of Wuhan City on Thursday, November 10th. A seriously ill person lying on the road was not allowed to enter the hospital, just because he had a yellow code.
So let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by WHO if you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. So for the next pandemic, instead of stopping the movement of the people 100%, which clock the economy globally, you can still provide some movement of the people. Indonesia has achieved, G20 country has agreed to have this digital certificate using WHO standard, and we will submit into the next World Health Assembly in Geneva as the revision to international health regulation. So hopefully for the next pandemic, we can still see some movement of the people, some movement of the goods, and movement of the economy.
That our 3 organizations, Hyperledger Foundation, Finos, and Digital Dollar Project, we've really seen this need for open collaboration, open development in the central bank digital currency space and the research and projects that are happening. So for this reason, we're coming together to start an initiative, the Open Digital Currency Initiative, to promote open source collaboration and governance in the CBDC space. Our aim is to promote the open collaboration development of central bank digital currencies involving all kinds of stakeholders, not just central banks, but those who are helping central banks, and anyone else who's involved in this space, so that we can develop really publicly shared resources and avoid duplicating efforts. From our perspective, we really think that most CBDCs are going to be quite similar.
It's time for another Bullet Point Bulletin powered by Plato Data Intelligence. Web3 data intelligence, private, secure, trusted. For more information, visit platodata.ai. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York has completed a successful pilot of the use of central bank digital currencies for wholesale cross-border transactions. The experiment, also known as Project Cedar Phase 1, aims to explore the capabilities of blockchain technology in payment delivery and the application of central bank digital currencies in wholesale payments. Testing was conducted on separate blockchains to explore the capabilities of blockchain technology in delivering fast and safe payments for a lower settlement cost. The New York Innovation Center, the entity charged with the project, exchanged a U.S. digital dollar with experimental foreign currencies in a simulated environment powered by blockchain technology. The experiment showed a significant improvement in which the average clearing and settlement of transactions reduced from 2 days to under 15 seconds. Additionally, the framework could enable atomic settlements, an instant and simultaneous exchange of assets. Because of the dollar's advantage in international payments, the U.S. was previously uninterested in increasing central bank digital currencies. However, the country's perspective has shifted and is now researching the policies to develop the tools, technology, and potential that it offers. Thanks for watching Bullet Point Bulletins, powered by Plato Data Intelligence.